Welcome to NACTV Reads the News. My name is Gwen Jacobsen, and I'm one of many volunteers that help create programming for our station. NACTV can be seen on MTS Channel 30 or 1030, Westman Cable Channel 12, Bell Satellite Channel 592, or online at nactv.tv. These programs are made possible by our volunteers, staff, advertisers, as well as donations made by you, the viewers. If you are enjoying your NACTV experience, please consider supporting us by either donation or volunteering. You can contact our office at 204-476-2639 or at nactv@wcgwave.ca. This week's Neepawa banner and press is dated Friday, February 19th, 2021. And the front page headline is a beautiful, huge picture of some northern lights that lit up in Neepawa recently. And it says, this individual made their excitement apparent when they were able to observe the northern lights recently. This photo was taken just outside of Neepawa. Sorry, I missed that one. And charging up the town. This is a picture of Linda Dennis, who is a co-owner of the Neepawa Boston Pizza, and she is showing off an electric car charging station, which was recently installed in the Boston Pizza parking lot in Neepawa. And the COVID-19 updates this week. As of February 16th, just over 2% of Manitobans have received both doses of COVID-19 vaccine. To date, 56,044 doses of vaccine have been administered, including 34,859 first doses and 21,185 second doses. Over the course of a recent 7-day period from Wednesday, February 10th to Tuesday, February 16th, there were 19 new COVID-19 cases reported within the Prairie Mountain Health region, and that is a notable drop from 39 cases that were reported last week. The total current cases in the Prairie Mountain Health region since March are 2,045. With only 49 currently active. There have been 52 deaths in this region. Turtle Mountain region has the most active cases in Prairie Mountain with 15, and Brandon has just 11 active cases. White Mud, which encompasses Neepawa and surrounding communities, has 0 active cases compared to 2 last week. Provincially, the northern region currently has the most active COVID-19 cases with 783, while Winnipeg's current cases are at 475. Local co-ops support community causes. The Neepawa Gladstone Co-op is proud to continually partner with organizations to provide community initiatives. Here are a couple of recent collaborative efforts within the community of Neepawa, Gladstone, and surrounding areas. The Salvation Army. The Neepawa and Gladstone food store and gas bar C-store locations were accepting cash donations at the cash register for a designated period of time. The locations accumulated $4,186.80 in donations. Additional donations of $2,000 worth of gift cards were added into the gift baskets to the Neepawa Salvation Army and Gladstone United Church / Salvation Army. The Goodbye to Hunger program brought in $4,565 worth of non-perishable items, which were donated to the Salvation Army. In total, $10,751.80 was raised in this humanitarian effort. The Salvation Army is grateful for the Neepawa Gladstone Co-op's support. They always reach out to see what support is needed. The Salvation Army couldn't do what we do without a generous business like Neepawa Gladstone Co-op, stated Amanda Nottingale, Director of Community Ministries at Neepawa's Salvation Army. And the other program was the palliative care programs at Neepawa and Gladstone. Since 2016, Neepawa Gladstone Co-op employees have been giving back to palliative care. Neepawa Gladstone Co-op employees selected the palliative care programs as their charity of choice in 2016. A little goes a long way, and as a result, we helped raise $10,499 towards palliative care programs in the Neepawa and Gladstone communities. Recently, Mary Ellen Clark, Neepawa Palliative Care Coordinator, and Leah Ham, Gladstone Palliative Care Coordinator, were presented a check amount of $1,192 in each community. Neepawa Gladstone Co-op is extremely proud of our staff for supporting this worthy initiative. Palliative care programs operate with no government funding, which makes it even more important to help provide support. Tireless hours of volunteer time are used to operate these important community endeavors. These volunteers need to be thanked for providing support, which makes a huge difference in the lives of patients and families alike. Neepawa Gladstone Co-op is proud to be part of this initiative. The Neepawa Gladstone Co-op would sincerely like to thank all efforts of everyone involved. This includes both communities of Neepawa and Gladstone, the volunteers, and employees of both divisions for promoting and supporting these donations. And the Roxy Theatre offers a taste of the movies at home. Community members had the chance to satisfy a craving that's been hard to get recently. The Neepawa Theatre Centre, or NTC, the volunteer board that operates the Roxy Theatre, offered people the opportunity to enjoy a classic theatre snack in the comfort of their own homes. Last Friday and Saturday, February 12th and 13th, the NTC was selling their infamous Roxy popcorn by the bag. KDF, member of the NTC board, noted that this has been something the board has been talking about for a while. The idea evolved from several discussions between the board members. We had heard that people were really missing theater popcorn, and we do know some other small theaters have been holding regular sales weekly since the pandemic began, she explained. The sale turned out to be quite a hit, with great response from the community. We sold approximately 125 bags over the 2 days, of which 114 were pre-ordered. We thought there may be a few walk-ins if we put the sandwich board outside, and that paid off both days. Not only did individuals get on board, but local businesses also supported the promotion. We had a very generous sponsorship offer from the lovely ladies at Remax Prairie Mountain, who prepaid for 30 bags, which we assigned to the first 15 customers of each day. Neepawa Gladstone Co-op also chipped in, supplying the large bags to fill with the delicious salty snack. There were 5 volunteers helping to pop popcorn and man the lobby turned pop-up shop, including Diath and her husband Dale. We are hoping to do a few more events like this in the future to help cover some of our ongoing operating expenses, Diath noted, adding that they may try scheduling sales to coincide with holidays and the long weekends throughout the year. It was exciting to put on, and we really appreciated the community support, she concluded. Homebodies by Rita Friesen. Looking back. There is a well-read, well-loved copy of the Reader's Digest that surfaces once a year, December 1946. It is in remarkably good condition, bronzy gold in color, the index on the cover stapled, not glued, and modest in appearance, astounding in content. The copy surfaces each February for this year, this month, this week. I celebrate my birthday. It's my 75th. The plan was to call a clan gathering, but not happening this year. This cherished mini magazine is still true to the founder's goals. Begun in 1922 by DeWitt Wallace and Lila Beale Wallace, a Canadian and a daughter of a preacher, they devised a small, carry-anywhere, information-laden magazine. Only 5.5 by 7.5 inches, A copy could be tucked in a purse and a pocket, and the length of the articles were designed in brief waiting periods, designed to inspire hope and educate through a series of condensations of writing found in journals and other publications. The lead article in that first self-published booklet was by Alexander Graham Bell on the importance of self-education as a long life habit. I don't know what a subscription would have initially cost, but my 1946 copy cost 25 cents, with $3 providing a 1-year subscription and $5 getting 2 years. There was a period in the early 60s when they offered a lifetime subscription for $100. Now, 1 year is $10, 2 years is $15, advertised as a savings of 84%. I digress. The articles are meant to be inspiring, educational, entertaining. Looking back at my cherished edition, one can see that the topics of concern have not changed over the decades. 2 million forgotten boys, condensed from Collier's, expresses concern over the youth of America. At this point, young men had quit school to find jobs to aid the war effort. Now, with returning veterans, they are unemployed, not eligible for university programs. They are restless. There are 5 million boys in the United States aged 15 through 18. Best estimates are that 2 million of them are stopped cold instead of forging ahead a full career. Concluding statement: all young America wants is to belong to the club. He is weary of being a displaced person. Can you blame him? Though time passes, situations and results remain much the same. There are articles on health, politics, local and global, 2 condensed books, The Standard, It Pays to Increase Your Word Power, Anything for a Laugh, and all kinds of fillers, humorous and thought-provoking. Much against her will, the little old lady had consented to spend a day in town, but the putting was not a success. Buses were crowded, people jostled, it rained. As she wearily climbed the steps of her own front porch that night, the tired traveler was heard to remark, "Sakes alive, I'm so glad I'm home, I'm glad I went." A quote that set me thinking, applicable for our times as it was for theirs. The difference between a conviction and a prejudice is that you can explain a conviction without getting angry. The more things change, the more they stay the same. And Ellen Drysdale article is about Eaton's this week. In the early 1900s, the Eaton's catalog was referred to as the Homesteaders Bible. The Eaton's Company was started in 1869 in Toronto by Timothy Eaton with a dry goods business which grew quickly. At that time, retailers sold goods on credit, and you haggled over the price of your desired item. Eaton set a fair price, cash only and no haggling. His motto was, goods satisfactory or your money refunded. Soon he added a mail order catalog service with a 32-page booklet. The Western provinces were major users of the mail order catalog service, so to accommodate the increasing demand, Eaton chose Winnipeg as the place for a mail order warehouse to serve its customers in the West. On July 15, 1905, an Eaton store and mail order warehouse was opened in Winnipeg at the corner of Portage and Donald Street. The Western business concentrated more on the homesteaders' needs and helping them fight the cold weather. As well as warm clothes, they sold furniture, dishes, books, appliances, farm equipment, seeds, harnesses, toys, health needs, including a kit for delivering babies at home, and much more. In the West, from 1911 to 1932, they offered fully designed homes with all the materials. Just find your quarter section of wilderness or your town lot, and for around $900 in 1910, you could construct your new house. Made of seasoned lumber, fir, spruce, or cedar from British Columbia, It included the doors, windows, moldings, sidings, shingles, and stairs. The house models all had names with the prefix EA, such as Eaton Court, Eastbourne, Easton, Earlswood, and Earl's Court models. They sold barns this way as well. They could deliver all your needs with the exception of a mail order bride, although some men requested. However, in 1945, one Eaton shopper had her baby in an Eaton store. She went shopping and went home with a baby. By 1919, the Eaton's operations in Winnipeg employed 8,000 people. That year, the employees of Eaton's gifted a large bronze statue of Timothy Eaton to the store. People meeting at Eaton's referred to meeting at this point as meeting at Tim's Toes. The red brick store was known to Winnipeggers as the Big Store. Walking by the store, you were treated to beautifully decorated display windows showcasing all the holidays and the store's available merchandise. Much of their merchandise was made in their own factories in Canada, like Guelph stores. Hamilton had knitted goods. Winnipeg had men's work clothes. Toronto had clothing of all kinds and leather goods. Montreal had men's clothing, etc. These factories produced for Eaton's alone. In most homes, as it was in mine as a child, the day the catalog came in the mail was very exciting. When the new one came, we used the old one to cut out paper dolls and dress them. Its last home became the outhouse to be used for other scratchy purposes. They were used as shin pads in hockey games, fire starters, and to help our newest immigrants learn English. While we loved the Eaton's catalog, the local storekeepers did not. It was difficult to compete with the good prices and money-back guarantee. In Manitoba in the early 1900s, nearly half of the retail dollar was taken in by Eaton's. When Sears came to Canada in the 1950s, it took some of their market share. Soon after, 3/4 of the population lived in the cities and catalog shopping was losing money, so that department was closed in 1976. By 1999, the once proud 130-year-old chain had reached the end of the road, replaced with the big box stores like Walmart. Dining at Eaton's store was a delight, with the grill room, a high-end dining, or its many cafeterias featuring homemade soups, chicken pot pies, cheese asparagus roll-ups, and plentiful desserts. One of its sought-out desserts was a red velvet cake, and that is the recipe that Ellen has put in this week's edition, red velvet cake. I remember that bronze statue is where we used to meet too. Okay, so Spruce Plains RCMP report from February the 8th to the 14th by Jacobsen, Spruce Plains RCMP. During the week of February 8th to the 14th, Spruce Plains RCMP dealt with 42 police activities. On February 8th, RCMP responded to a vehicle rollover in the RM of Rosedale. There were no injuries. Extreme winds were to blame. Police received a call that a utility trailer had blown over on the highway in Neepawa. Winds were responsible again, and the highway was shut down shortly after as a safety precaution. Police conducted numerous COVID compliance checks in Neepawa, Kelwood, and in the RM of Rosedale. All persons were found abiding by quarantine regulations. February 9th, RCMP received a report of theft of fuel from a business in Neepawa. Patrols were made for the vehicle, which was determined to be stolen but could not be located. Brandon Police Service was notified, who located the vehicle later that night in Brandon, and the suspect was arrested and charged accordingly. February 10th, RCMP responded to a commercial alarm at a business in Neepawa, which was determined by the property rep to be a false alarm. Police received a report of a hit and run that occurred in Gladstone. There was insufficient evidence to proceed further. February 11th, RCMP were dispatched to a single vehicle rollover in the RM of Minto O'Donnell. There were no injuries, and icy roads were a major factor. Police received a report of threats being uttered in Minnedosa and conducted a COVID compliance check in the municipality of Westlake Gladstone. February 12th, RCMP responded to a domestic assault in Minnedosa. The matter is still under investigation. Police received a report of a vehicle being taken without consent of the owner in the municipality of Westlake Gladstone, and the investigation is ongoing. February 13th, RCMP received a report of an erratic driver who was uttering threats in Minnedosa. The vehicle's plate number was obtained, however, the complainant declined to proceed with charges. Police responded to a report of a deceased animal on the highway in the RM of Minto O'Donnell. Patrols were made, but the animal could not be located. February 14th, RCMP responded to a report of an abandoned vehicle that was obstructing traffic in the RM of Oakview. A person was discovered sleeping inside the vehicle, which was determined to be stolen. The person was taken to the hospital to be treated for hypothermia, and the owner of the vehicle declined to proceed with charges. Police received a report of a missing person in Neepawa who was later located at a friend's house safe and well. RCMP conducted 12 traffic enforcement actions during this reporting period. If you have any information about these crimes or any other crimes, please contact your local RCMP office or Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-8477. Due to the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, the Neepawa RCMP and Minnedosa detachments advise they will be limiting front counter services at the detachments until further notice. We request that you contact each detachment at Neepawa 204-476-7340 or Minnedosa 204-867-2916 to inquire about criminal record checks or to file a report. Leave a message if needed, and it will be checked the following business day. Do not leave a message if you require immediate police assistance. You must dial for Neepawa 204-476-7338 or Minnedosa 204-867-2751 or 911 to have a police officer respond to you promptly. And in Minnedosa, they have canceled their sportsman's dinner. The town of Minnedosa held its regular meeting of council on Tuesday, February 9th. Notable presentations from the session included an update from the Minnedosa and District Recreation Commission. The commission confirmed to council members that the annual sportsman's dinner has been canceled for this year. There will also be no spring or fall grants issued by the Rec Commission in 2021. Other notable updates from the meeting include the Recreation and Culture Committee has revised the proposed campground revocation project for 2021. A request for quotation will be issued in the near future. As well, a shed has been included into the budget for storage of bundles of firewood. The campground managers will be selling the firewood for this season. Plans are also in place to allow the pavilion to be rented out this upcoming campground season. The Minnedosa Chamber of Commerce has confirmed that it is in the process of developing a new website. The Chief Administrative Officer's report noted that the Recreation Commission has requested use of the Minnedosa Arena for its summer day camp. As well, the CAO indicated that there is a subdivision that is occurring in the RM of Minto O'Donnell that is open for public consultation. The Council has agreed to request an extension from the Public Utilities Board for a submission of a revised rate study application for 2018-19 and by July the 30th, 2021. Council also approved that the CAO provide a letter of support to Friends of the Lake to apply for a grant from federated cooperatives. The grant would assist in the purchase of a shoreline conveyor to assist with offloading and transport of harvested weeds. Small but locally significant. So there's a picture of a small thimble found recently by Mjhl, which read R.T. Buchert, Minnedosa. So a bit of cleaning can uncover unexpected items. From there, perhaps some unexpected history. Mjhl of Minnedosa was sorting through some purchases he made a few years ago when a small thimble bearing the inscription R.T. Buchert, Minnedosa was discovered. Upon research, Guire found that R.T. Buchert was born in Ontario on July 29, 1866, and was working in Neepawa as a railway agent by the time of the 1901 federal census. 10 years later, he was a druggist at Minnedosa, where he lived for the remainder of his life. In addition to working as a druggist, he served as mayor from 1910 to 1911 and was a founding member of the Manitoba Association of Optometrists, serving on the Board of Examiners, and was president of the Manitoba Pharmaceutical Association from 1924 to 25. In his personal life, May 4th, 1892 marks the date of his marriage to Mary Albertina Logie, born 1867, death unknown, at Fort William, Ontario. To them, Thomas Johnson Logie Buchert, their only child, was born at Minnedosa in 1897. Thomas served in the 44th Battalion, formed in Winnipeg, where he was a student at the time of his enlistment during World War I. He then gave his life on June 20th, 1917, on the battlefield at Vimy Ridge. Thomas's name is still listed today on the memorial at Vimy Ridge Park in Winnipeg. R.T. Buchert passed away several years later in the Winnipeg General Hospital on November 19th, 1930. His final resting place is in the Minnedosa Cemetery. If you would like to submit a historical item related to the Neepawa and press coverage area, contact us at news@neepawabanner.com. Now, there's a few places in the area just letting us know what's opening and what's not for now. So with the recent changes made by with the provincial code red restrictions, many new businesses and places of worship now have the option to reopen if they so desire. Some have moved forward with returning while others not. So here's a list of some of the area businesses and what they have decided to do. First one is the Neepawa Boston Pizza. It has reopened its restaurant and lounge in Neepawa at 25% capacity on Friday, February 12th. The Chicken Corral in Neepawa, currently not reopening its dining room to the public. It will maintain its current takeout service from 11 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. The Neepawa Dairy Queen, the dining area is remaining closed to the public at this time. The Neepawa Brew Brothers Bistro is open to dine in for limited capacity. No groups larger than 5 permitted. Reservations are recommended but not mandatory. And in Neepawa, the Whitey's Fitness Body Shop is remaining closed to the public for a 2-week period while evaluating the current regulations. Keep up to date by following on Facebook and subscribing to Whitey's newsletter. The Cornerstone Grill in Minnedosa is open to dine-in for limited to household members only, no more than 5 people per table. At Farmhouse 50 in Minnedosa, as of February 13th and 14th, the dining area was not open to the public, but takeout orders will still be available. Rosie's Country Cafe and Bakery has opened for limited dine-in, seating for only one household. Okay, this article is titled Gladstone-Based Publishing Duo Help with Autism Fundraising Effort. Fueled by their enthusiasm for supporting a good cause, a group of authors from around the globe are putting a new twist on classic fairy tales. This collaborative effort is all thanks to a publishing partnership based out of Gladstone. Enchanted Kingdoms is an e-book box set of 20 novels. The series features the types of fairy tales we loved as children, now twisted into bewitching stories that will transport the reader to new worlds. An international team of best-selling and award-winning authors from the United States, Canada, United Kingdom, and as far away as New Zealand, Australia, and Sweden have pooled resources to help children with autism. All funds from this venture will be donated to Puzzle Piece United, a New Jersey-based charity that supports children with autism and their families. The effort is spearheaded by J.A. Armitage and Ryan Parks of Gladstone, directors of Enchanted Quill Press, and J.A. Cullican, director of Dragon Realm Press, small independent publishers who've had online success, including their books hitting the USA Today bestseller list multiple times. Armitage noted via media release, "We're delighted to support such a worthy cause and know Puzzle Piece makes a real difference to the families of autistic children. With the Enchanted Kingdoms box set, we'll add some magic to their lives by enthusing fantasy readers around the world to support their cause." Ryan Parks added, "We've had a lot of readers purchase this 99-cent box set of 20 novels because they have family members who have autism. It's great to see everyone get behind the project." J.A. Cullican, who is both a USA Today bestselling author and the president of Puzzle Piece United, is thrilled the authors have chosen to raise funds for the nonprofit organization. Cullican holds a master's in special education and has taught students with autism for over 15 years. She also has a daughter on the autistic spectrum. "We work with parents, teachers, schools, businesses, community leaders, and families to enhance the lives of children with autism," Cullican said of Puzzle Piece. "It's wonderful to add an international team of authors to our support crew. I hope everyone gets behind this initiative and helps Enchanted Kingdoms to succeed." As well as J.A. Cullican, many of these fantasy authors have worked in the health arena or have friends or family members with autism. Some are former nurses, mental health workers, and one is a transformational life coach. But they all have something in common: compassion for those on the autism spectrum and a desire to help readers escape to other worlds. Their tales span a variety of genres that reflect each author's passion: traditional high fantasy, epic fantasy, paranormal romance, urban fantasy, historical fantasy, and fairy tale retellings. All of the novels are suitable for young adults. Enchanted Kingdoms releases on February 23rd is available for pre-order now on Amazon, iBooks, Barnes & Noble, and most digital stores at books2read.com/enchantedkingdoms. For publishing, social media, and marketing inquiries available for authors as well as local businesses, please visit enchantedquillpress.com. Now, the editor of the Neepawa Banner and Press, Ken Waddell, has put on a whole page of a 100-year-old paper, the Neepawa Press as it was called back then. but he says, sorry, you'll need a magnifying glass to read it. Okay, so now we have Gladwin Scott's page from the Carberry, North Cyprus, Langford. Here and There by Gladwin Scott. Former Carberry United Church minister for 20 years, Reverend Peggy Reed, was recognized during her Hillsborough, New Brunswick Sunday service for 3 years service there and 30 years of marriage. After a stint as a qualified nurse, Peggy became a minister, was posted to the Plumas Glenella Langruth charge, where she met and married a young Waldersea farmer and hunter named Dennis Single. Peggy later stated they were in fact married in Waldersea Lutheran Church, July 14, 1993, by 4 ministers, 2 Lutheran and 2 United. Although it does not seem like golf these days, Sandhills Golf and Country Club has been active. Derek Samagalski has been hired as the new course superintendent. Derek lives in Carberry and has worked at the Sandhills course for the past 2 summers. Previously, he was employed with his home course for 10 years, Larders at St. Andrews. Rob Van Comer will be back as the clubhouse manager. In spite of the pandemic, most golf courses had a very good season in 2020. Samagalski will soon leave for Calgary and several weeks of curling at the Nationals in March. The men's Briar will be with Mike McEwen during the first week, followed by the mixed doubles. 5 Manitoba women's curling rinks will begin the 2021 Scotties Tournament of Hearts in Calgary, Friday, February 19th. Prairie Mountain Health District is looking for a new chief executive officer, as long-standing CEO Penny Gilson indicated in the fall that she would be retiring in April 2021. The Prairie Mountain Health Board of Directors established a search committee and is currently receiving applications for the position. Rick Pauls, long-serving mayor of the municipality of Killarney Turtle Mountain, has resigned his position after 14 years of service. He will be pursuing a new opportunity in the banking industry. Deputy Mayor Janice Smith will lead council until an election is called. In Alberta, WHL teams from Edmonton, Red Deer, Calgary, and Lethbridge will begin a modified Central Division on February the 26th, as announced January 28th. On February 10th, Hockey Brandon cancelled the rest of the 2021 season, which ends the season for 722 players. Although I enjoy Canadian football, especially when the Blue Bombers or the Green Rough Riders are involved, I did watch most of the 55th Super Bowl in Tampa Bay. It was unique in many ways, as Tom Brady, the 43-year-old Buccaneers quarterback, won his 5th MVP award and 7th Super Bowl title in his 10th opportunity. Bruce Arians, age 66, was the oldest coach to win the crown, which was watched by 25,000 fans, including his 95-year-old mother. About 30,000 cardboard cutouts made by the 66,000-seat stadium look full. The 31-9 loss for the Kansas City Chiefs prevented their 25-year-old quarterback Patrick Mahomes from repeating as Super Bowl champion. Tampa Bay used the famous cliche, "good defense wins championships," to capture the Vince Lombardi trophy. And the U.S. House voted 230 to 199 on February 4th to strip New Georgia Republican Marjorie Taylor Greene of her committee appointments for Education, Labor, and Budget. 11 Republicans voted with 219 Democrats in an unprecedented move to remove Greene due to spreading hateful and violent conspiracy theories. And the community profile from Carberry this week is Ben Saunderson. Ben Saunderson is 16 years old, a grade 11 Carberry Collegiate student with strong hockey skills and interest. He's 6'1", 185 pounds, a left-hander shooting defenseman who lives 1 mile north of Wellwood with his parents Steve and Tracy and his younger brother Nolan. Saunderson is in his 4th season with the Yellowhead Chiefs program. This is his 2nd year with the under-18 AAA team after playing 2 years with the under-15 AAA squad. Currently, he has been drafted by the Neepawa Natives of the Manitoba Junior League and the Saskatoon Blades of the Western Hockey League. Ben played 8 games with the Chiefs this season before COVID-19 forced hockey cancellations in mid-November. However, Saunderson has been fortunate to skate and practice his hockey skills in a 60 by 40 foot potato shed rink. He also spends an hour or more at 4:00 p.m. daily for a physical workout by Zoom with his trainer Dustin Fisher, who used to be a billet of mine. Some of his hockey highlights have been playing with the Winnipeg Junior Jets as a 10-year-old in the Brick Tournament at West Edmonton Mall. And when he signed with the Saskatoon Blades in December 2019, Ben was able to practice for a week in Saskatchewan Place. His dad, Steve, has had a huge influence on his development and has provided him with many opportunities. Craig Geekie of Strathclair has been his Yellowhead defense coach. Geekie, who played 5 years in the WHL with the Brandon Wheat Kings and the Spokane Chiefs, said Ben is a good, genuine young guy who has strong skating skills that will bode well in the future. He has great support from his parents and is taking training very seriously. And almost done. 2 more pages. The MJHL season has announced its cancellation. It was announced that hockey fans across Manitoba has been dreading but also expecting for some time. On Friday, February 12th, the Manitoba Junior Hockey League, the MJHL, confirmed the cancellation of its 2020-2021 season. The lack of changes to the province's public health restrictions in relation to indoor team sports was the reason for the MJ ultimately deciding to make the move. After multiple discussions with public health, representatives of the provincial government, facility managers, and stakeholders, the MJHL Board of Governors have determined that the resumption and completion of this year's regular league and playoff season is not feasible due to current conditions, the league confirmed. It has become unrealistic to continue operating in a state of hope with so much uncertainty and no timeline provided. It is unfair to our athletes and staff, our community organizations who have been severely impacted financially, and the communities/regions our organizations support and garner support from. Initially, the 12-team league moved ahead with the start of a 40-game season back in October. The league was able to play games for just over a month before having a pause due to the province going into Code Red restrictions on November the 12th. While some businesses and activities were granted limited capacity reopening on February 12th, organized indoor sports remained under the prior restrictions with no indications of if or when they might be allowed to resume. The MJ Commissioner, Kevin Surrett, said via press release that it has become unrealistic to support continuing operating in a state of hope with so much uncertainty and no timeline provided. When hockey activities were paused as the entire province moved to Code Red on November 12th, at no time did we not think or work tirelessly towards having the opportunity to resume our season safely. Return to play scenarios were exhausted with public health to allow for safe, responsible, balanced, and financially feasible return to team activities, said Surrett. In the end, our advocacy efforts were not enough for public health to allow for a return to on-ice team training activity, even in a non-contact, professionally managed, closed to public, distanced, 100% masked, and an extremely protected environment. For Neepawa, the decision means that 6 20-year-old players will have played their final game in Junior A hockey. This was the last year of eligibility for forwards Carter Sawchuk, Eli Leifers, Bryce Krautner, defenseman Brady Morrison, and Reese Bremner, and goaltender Thompson Finney. Neepawa head coach and general manager Ken Pearson said he doesn't have much to say about the decision at the moment. The only thing he could comment on at this moment was that he and the rest of the coaching and scouting personnel feel bad for all the players, especially the 20-year-olds, who never really got the chance to play in their final year. The team is thanking all the players, parents, volunteers, sponsors, and fans for their support, and is now shifting its attention to a return to play for the 2021-22 hockey season. The league's focus, meanwhile, has now turned toward actively stabilizing its financial position. It will also pursue the continued advocacy for a safe and responsible return to on-ice team training activities for all players across the province, and planning for upcoming team training and development activities, spring and prospect camps, events, and showcases. And then this article is also, it's about major changes made to the MJHL draft. The MJHL has announced that the annual draft will move from a under-16 draft, formerly Bantam draft, to an under-17 draft, highlighting players who are going into their 16-year-old season. As a result, there will be no 2021 MJHL draft with the current 2006 born draft eligible age group carrying forward into the inaugural under 17 MJHL draft to be held in the spring of 2022. Players who will be eligible for the MJHL draft are Manitoba players who are registered to play hockey in Manitoba according to Hockey Manitoba regulations and are in their 16th year. Moving the draft eligible age group to a year older will give the MJHL organizations the ability to watch players develop for an additional season to allow for a better understanding of that player's continued development and potential to play elite junior hockey, said Kevin Surratt, the MJHL commissioner. The MJHL has conducted virtual MJHL prospect presentations over the past several months with the 2006 age group. These presentations have provided players and families with important information on what it takes to get to junior hockey and the significance of the MJ being a strong pathway to the WHL, the NCAA, the U Sports, the university sports, and eventually professional hockey at the highest levels. The MJHL is also currently in the planning process of including additional development and exposure events for the draft eligible age group each season. These events will complement local league play in showcasing and educating players prior to each annual MJHL draft. And here we have a picture of, I'm not sure, the Bamboo Garden restaurant in Neepawa was prepared to celebrate the Lunar New Year on February 12th. When the Waddells picked up their takeout order, Ivy, this cashier salesperson, graciously posed with her gorgeous, colorful display. Who doesn't love that lion? For your information, the Waddells said the meal was delicious and generous, and they'll be back. Happy Lunar New Year. And the last article to read is about the Neepawa and Area 4-H Beef Club update. The Neepawa and Area 4-H Beef Club held their very first communication evening virtually. Members were to record themselves presenting their speech or visual, and then it was uploaded onto our website. If you haven't checked it out yet, go on over to our website, www.neepawaarea4h.com, and look for the communication tab, or keep your eye out on NACTV. We would like to thank our judges, Cheyenne Davey and Cam Tibbett. They had a very tough job placing members. Most of the placings were within a single point, so congratulations to all the members. And these are the placings. Cloverbud speeches, 6 to 8 years of age, 1 to 2 minutes. Cooper Jury and Sadie Sawchuk. For the junior speeches, 9 to 11 years of age, 2 to 3 minutes. First was Quinn Sawchuk, second Morgan Dyke, third Avery Jury, fourth Summer Sawchuk. For the immediate speeches, 12 to 14 years of age, 3 to 5 minutes, Madison Robertson, Sviana Bjarnson, Keegan Dick or Dyke, and Ashley Dyke. Senior speeches, 15 to 17 years of age, which were 5 to 7 minutes long. First, Corey Baker, second, Rebecca Lynn Peterson. In immediate, one-person visual, 12 to 14 years of age, 5 to 8 minutes. The winner, Carson Baker. Top 2 from each category may go on to Zones communication held virtually in March. And good luck to all of you. And that is it for this week's edition of the Neepawa Banner and Press. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.